Okay, welcome to another video session. This is unit 4. This is the 7th video session on combinational logic circuits. In today's session, we will look into the binary subtractor. Okay, and we will also look into the decimal adder. So we have seen a binary adder. We will look into a decimal adder. How is a decimal adder different? As you know, binary means it will add 0 and 1. So those are the two numbers in the binary and a combination of 0 and 1. Whereas decimal, you will have 0 to 9. So 10 numbers will be there, 10 digits in fact, right? So therefore, binary is only 2-digit. 0 and 1 used to represent the small to big numbers, whereas decimal, you can use 0 to 9, total 10 numbers to represent any number. All right. So let us get started with the binary subtractor. How do we do subtraction? Subtraction is a form of addition. Is it confusing? I'm saying subtraction and then I'm saying addition. How is it? Let us take an example. So we have heard of 1's complement and 2's complement. So therefore, for performing a subtraction operation, you don't require a separate subtractor circuit. What do I mean? Let us take this example and understand it properly. So we will do the 2's complement method of subtraction. We can also use the 1's complement method, but we will stick to the 2's complement method. Why? Because here the circuit what we are designing is using the 2's complement method. That is why we can also implement using 1's complement. Anyway, so let us get started. For example, if you want to subtract 5 from 14, so the answer is 9, which is very easy because it's a decimal number. So how do we do the subtraction in the binary form? So what is the binary equivalent of 14? What is the binary equivalent? It is 1110. What is the binary equivalent of 5? It is 0101. All right, so this is what is the binary. But do we know the binary subtraction? How are we going to do the borrow and how are we going to do? So let's not break our head on that. Let us do the simple method of 2's complement method. So this is a method used for subtraction. All right. So what is the rule according to this 2's complement method? So we have two numbers. So one is called the minuend and the subtrahend. All right. So you're subtracting the number from this number, right? So therefore the subtrahend and the minuend. So what we do in 2's complement method is we take the 1's complement of the subtrahend and add 1 to it to obtain the 2's complement. How do you obtain 1's complement? How do you obtain a 1's complement method? Or how do we obtain a 1's complement of this binary number? The zeros will be replaced with 1 and 1 will be replaced with 0. That's all, right? Okay, now let us take this. Okay, so what is the 1's complement of 0101? That is 5 decimal. So okay, so here, sorry, this is actually I've taken wrong number. It should be 0101. So what is the 1's complement? If you can observe here to here, it is correct. So 0 is replaced with 1 and 1 is replaced with a 0. Similarly, 0 is replaced with 1 and 1 is replaced with a 0. All right. So not this number. This is I've taken for 8, which is not, it should have been 5. Okay. So, but the 1's complement is correct. Okay. So this is the 1's complement of this subtrahend, that is 5. Don't well, let us not bother about this minus now. So it's only 5 we have taken, and we have taken 1's complement of that. Now we want 2's complement. As I said, how do you get 2's complement? You take 1's complement, add 1 to it. Where do you add? Not at the most significant bit, you have to add at the least significant bit. Okay, so you have to add this 1 at the least significant bit position. Okay, so we add this 1. So therefore, what we get? 0 plus 1 is 1, and then there's nothing else here. So this is 1, 0, 1. So 1, 0, 1. So 1, 0, 1, 1 is the 2's complement of 0, 1, 0, 1. Is that clear? Okay. Now, after taking 2's complement, we have to simply add the subtrahend to the minuend. Okay. So we are not doing the subtraction. I mean, actually, we are not doing the subtraction. We are doing addition, and we will obtain the result of the subtraction. Okay. Now let us see that. Okay. So for subtraction using 2's complement, we add the minuend with the 2's complement of the subtrahend. So when you do that, so 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 0 with a carry 1, and 1 plus 1, that is a carry 1, and a 0 is 1 with a carry of 1. Sorry, 0 with a carry of 1, and 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. 3 means 1 with a carry of 1. So this is an extra bit. We have only 4 bits, but this is an extra bit, that is a 5th bit. So this is a carry bit. So that is why I have written separately. Now, according to this 2's complement method, if you get a carry, that means the result is correct. Okay, so what is the binary equivalent of 9? 1, 0, 1, 1. So you see that I have got 1, 0, 1, 1. So therefore, the answer is correct. So you have to simply ignore the carry. We will not take the carry into consideration. We'll take only the result of the 2's complement addition, or actually what we are talking about is a subtraction. Okay, so therefore we have got the result. See, we did not do any subtraction, we did only addition. How did we do? We took the 2's complement number of the subtrahend and added to the minuend. So we got the result. So in 2's complement method, if the carrier occurs, that is the end carry, not the in-between carry. Okay, so there is an end carry here, or the overall carry. If you get an overall carry, then the result is correct, the carry is neglected. Now let us do the reverse process of 5 minus 14. As you can know, it is minus 9, right? How do we get this? How do we realize this in the 2's complement form? Now let us say, as I said, now 5 is the minuend and 14 is the subtrahend. So what we have to do, we have to find the 2's complement of the decimal 14, which is 1110. So we have to take the 2's complement of this. As you know, how do you obtain 2's complement? Take 1's complement and add 1 to it. So therefore, the 1's complement of 1110 is 0001. To that, if I add 1, so that becomes 0010. All right. So now if we add the 2's complement of the subtrahend to the minuend, what is the result? We get 1 plus 0 is 1, and 0 plus 1 is 1, and 1 plus 0 is 1, and 0 plus 0 is 0. So we did not get any extra bit. The result is only 4 bit. We did not get any end carry. So as we see, what should be the answer? It is 9. I mean, it should have been minus 9, or rather 9 and the minus sign. But here, what is the answer? If you see the decimal equivalent of this binary, it will be 7. Is it correct? No. So therefore, now we say that since no carry occurs, the result is in the 2's complement form, and the result is negative. So this is the 2's complement form of minus, I mean 9, or rather minus 9. Okay, so this is in the 2's complement form of the result. So we have to take the 2's complement form of this result to get the original result, and we have to append a minus sign for that. So how do we obtain that? So you take the 2's complement of this. So how do you obtain 2's complement? Find the 1's complement. So 1's complement of 0, 1, 1, 1 is 1, 0, 0. To that you add 1 to obtain 2's complement. So therefore the answer is 1, 0, 0, 1, which is decimal 9. All right, so we've got the answer. So therefore we see that this is the 2's complement method of subtraction. Rather, it is actually addition. Okay, so we are doing addition to obtain the subtraction operation. So therefore, from this example, what I'd like to convey is that you don't need a separate circuit to perform subtraction operation, but in fact the adder, whatever we studied, the binary adder itself can be used to perform the subtraction operation by using 2's complement method. All right, and what we have to realize when we are doing the subtraction operation using the same adder, binary adder, if the carry occurs, if the end carry occurs, the result is correct and you have to neglect the carry. If the carry does not occur at the end, the overall carry does not occur, then the result is negative and the result is in 2's complement form. You have to take the 2's complement of the result to get the actual result, right? Okay. So with this understanding, let us go back to our combinational circuits. I just took this example so that you understand the combinational circuits better. Okay, so what I've conveyed so far is that I can use the same binary adder circuit to perform binary subtractor. So therefore, you see that I am taking the same full adder. Now, why do we call a full adder? Because it can take the carry from the previous addition, right? That is why it is called as a full adder. So if you can recall. All right. So therefore, I have this same full adder circuit with extra XOR gates. So this circuit will be made to work both as an adder as well as a subtractor, binary adder and binary subtractor, by only using this control called M, or the mode. M stands for the mode. Which mode you want? You want the adder mode or the subtractor mode. All right. So if M is equal to 1, if M is equal to 1, you see, if M is 1, irrespective of, if M is 1, so whatever B is there, it will, what does the XOR function do? All right. So if M is 1, it will perform as an adder. Therefore, the B's, the term, all right. So whatever the B terms will get added to the A terms. Okay. Now, if you have, now if you take the M is equal to 1, if M is equal to 1, then the circuit will work as a subtractor, and if the M is equal to 0, then the circuit will work as a adder. So that is what we have seen here. All right. So if M is equal to 0, then 0 and B naught. So what does it do? So it will take the value of B naught, and because whatever is the value, if B naught is 0, then 0 or 0 is 0 XOR 0 is 0. If B naught is whatever value, so you know that from the identities of XOR operation, so B naught XORed with 0 is B naught. So therefore, so you will be getting B naught. So B naught, for example, for this adder I'm talking about. So B naught and A naught will be added, and the result of addition is shown at the output of S naught. And if carry is generated, that is given to the next adder and so on. Now, if M is equal to 1, then this will work as a subtractor. All right. So it will take we want the 2's complement. So therefore, if M is equal to 1, the output will be MB complement, right? So M into B complement. So that will be the output. So we see that we have taken 1's complement of B. All right. And we see that C naught is always equal to 1. So because if M is equal to 1, C naught also is equal to 1. So therefore, we have got in the subtractor mode, extra 1 we require. Actually, this XOR gates are performing the 1's complement. We need 2's complement. So we need one extra 1. So that is given by the C naught. So that is the carry in at the first leftmost bit. So therefore, we have added 1. So what we are getting here is all 2's complement. So 1's complement plus 1 is 2's complement, right? So that is what we have got here. So we are doing 2's complement method of addition. So the full adder takes care and you get the results. Now, if we are doing the addition also, and suppose if we are doing the signed numbers. So far what we had discussed is only unsigned numbers where we don't have extra sign. Suppose if you want dealing with the signed numbers, then this V bit, which is an XOR of the previous, the what you call the outermost carry or the overall carry and overall carry but 1. That means the carry to the previous or the final stage input. So those two carry, we are going to do an XOR operation to say that we are getting the sign operation. So that means if there is a carry, so then the sign will occur and we call that as a overflow condition. So this, otherwise if you are not dealing with the signed numbers, we are dealing with only unsigned numbers, then you can talk about the carry. If there was a carry or a borrow, okay, when a carry occurs, so we say that it is the end round carry or the overall carry. Okay, so the V bit is used for the signed operation. So this circuit can be used for both binary subtractor, binary adder, for both signed numbers and unsigned numbers. All right. So this circuit will be used for the binary operation. And what method is used? It is using 2's complement method. All right. Okay. Now let us go to the decimal adder. Now why decimal adder? Why can't we do with the simple binary adder itself? Now you know that decimal numbers are 0 to 9. So suppose if you consider the binary sum, so and we write down the position values, that means 0, 0, we have taken 5 bits here. Okay, so K represents the overall, when we get an extra bit. Okay, so the 4 combinations, the 4-bit combinations will be, first we are considering on this 4-bit combinations, then we'll go to K. So 0, 0, 0, 0, all the 4 bits, that is Z8 to Z1 or Z1 to Z8. Z1 is the least significant bit, Z8 is the most significant bit among these 4. So we have the combinations, and when all bits are high, so totally we'll get 16 combination. So 0 to 15 counts 16 combination. For the, this is now if you write the decimal equivalent of this, So this is for decimal 0, decimal 1, decimal 2, and so on. And this is for decimal 15. So this is for decimal 15. Now, decimal 16 will be the binary equivalent of 1111 plus 1. So when you add 1 to this, so it will generate an extra carry, and that will go here to the k bit. All right. So therefore 10000 is the binary equivalent of decimal 16. All right. So we have another bit extra. So therefore now 16, 17, 18, for all that 16 onwards, the k bit will be high. Up to 16, the k bit will not be equal to high, right? So therefore this is a binary, and this is the decimal. Now what is this BCD? BCD is binary coded decimal. That means we are coding the decimal numbers in terms of binary. So therefore, what are the decimal numbers? 0 to 9, only 0 to 9. So therefore, we are going to represent the binary numbers 0 to 9. So which for decimal 0, it is 0000, and for 9, as you have previously seen, 1001 is the binary equivalent of decimal number 9. Next, what happens? According to the decimal numbers, after 9, we get 10. All right. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on. But here, what happens? So when we say binary coded decimal, or BCD, means it will show these bits will be valid only for 0 to 9. It will not be valid for these. That means 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So these numbers should be eliminated, and for the next 10, you have to take the k bit. So what I'm trying to say is that, so according to the BCD, now we have to skip from here and go here to represent this 1 here. That means the 10, right? So there is a 9, if you add 1, it becomes 10, so it becomes a 2-digit number. So like that, here the 4-digit number becomes a 5-digit number. So after 9, because for, okay, so the 10 means we normally what we represent is each decimal digit will be represented using 4 binary bits. All right. So if I represent each decimal by 4 binary bits, so these 4 binary bits will have 16 combinations, but I require only 9 combinations, right? 0 to 9. So therefore, the 6 combinations are to be eliminated. Okay, so for 10, again, I have now 2 digits. So therefore, for representing 2 digits, I require, how many binary bits do I require? Anybody? I would be requiring 8 binary bits. Why? Because each digit I am going to represent using 4 binary bits. All right. So to represent this decimal number 10, I would require 8 binary digits. All right. So, or rather not binary digits, binary bits. Okay. So that is how we will be representing. Now let us simply understand here. We will just limit our understanding to this 0 to 9 and 10. Okay. So now if we have to represent this, okay. So therefore the BCD sum, what we will be representing will be, so this is decimal. Now this is binary coded decimal. So what we do here is, so this is 000 up to 1001. So that is 9. So 0 to 9, we are going to represent this. Then 10 will be, the 5th bit will be 1. 5th bit will be 1, and the 4 bits, that is the 4 bits that we are taking, they will be 0000. Now what is the difference between this and this? This is the full binary flow, which shows all the combinations. You see that after 1001, I mean 1001, you will have all the other remaining 6 combinations. Then comes 10000, so which is for decimal, decimal 16, the binary equivalent. All right. So whereas if you see the BCD sum, so you will get a 1 in the 5th bit immediately after 9. All right. So this is 10, 11, 12. So this pattern, if you observe, it is the same like this. So that means the same sequence occurs for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. up to 19. But this C bit will be 1 for 10 to 19. All right. So now this is what we call it as a BCD sum. So if we are using only 4 bits, then we represent 4 bits. If you are using a 4 bit, what you call the 4 bit adder, if you are using, then the sum will get, the output of the sum will be 4 bits, but the overall carry bit, we will get it for 10 to 19, because we have got one extra there, right? 1, 1, 1, 1, all these ones. So that will be represented here. So therefore, if you see the equation or the function C, what will it be? So when is C equal to 1? C equal to 1 for this combinations. Of course, the Z1 is overridden by these two, right? So whenever Z8 and Z2 are 1, C is 1. Similarly, Z8 and Z2 are 1, C is 1. Of course, here Z1 is 0 and Z1 is 1. So Z1 is overridden by the Z8 and Z2. So we take only Z8 and Z2 combination. If you take this and simplify and write an expression using the Karnaugh map, again, as you see, when the variable when a literal changes its state, it will be eliminated, right? So that in that terms, so Z8 and Z2 will be occurring for this. Again, now when you see here, for these combinations, these 4 combinations, if you take, Z2 varies, Z1 also varies, but Z8 and Z4 does not vary. So if you take these combinations, these 4 combinations, so these from the Karnaugh mapping, these 2 will be eliminated. That is Z2 and Z1 will be eliminated because they vary states. Whereas Z8 and Z4 will not change, so it will be retained. Now again, when you go to this set of combinations, here Z8 and Z4 does not change, and whereas this Z2 changes again and Z1 changes, so it will be, again, these 2 will be eliminated. But again, this is a Z8 complement and Z4 complement, so we will not worry about this. So we will directly write this expression only in terms of K. So K overrides all these variables, all these literals, Z8, Z4 and Z2 and Z1. So therefore, the expression for C will be K ORed with Z8, Z4, ORed with Z8, Z2. All right. So there's a 2 input AND gate for Z8, Z4. There's a 2 input AND gate for Z8, Z2, and a 3 input OR gate to take the result of this to get the carry. That is the overall carry when we are doing addition of 2 BCD numbers. All right. Suppose we are adding 9 plus 9. So 9 plus 9, when we add, we get the answer as 18. So 18 means, so carry will be 1 and the sum will be 8, right? The sum bits will be 8 and the overall carry will be 1. So this is what we are trying to say. Okay. So therefore, we can use the same adder circuit for performing addition. Now, what has happened is we are directly shift after this, that is from 9. If you observe the combination here, this is after 9. Which combination are we running for the 5-bit here? After 9, which one? 1 0 0 0 0. So that means here we are jumping. So that means from here, if I just draw the notation for that, annotate, if I just do that. So after this result, we have to jump directly to this result. Okay. So therefore, how many combinations we are skipping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 combinations we are skipping. So therefore, we have to add 6 to this whenever there is an overflow. Because we are skipping this 6 combinations, we have to add 6 to this. That is what is the BCD. So because after 9, what is the next number that you're going to represent in the binary coded decimal? It is not the 10, which is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. All right. It is 10 like this. That is 1 with 4 zeros. So that is our 10 here. So the 10 is in the BCD form. It is represented using 1 followed by 4 zeros. So that means from here we have jumped to here and we have skipped 6 steps. So whenever we are whenever we see that there is a carry that occurs, so we have to add 6 to this. So that is how we jump. That means once we have reached 9 and we want to go to the next number, we have to add 6 so that these combinations are skipped, and directly from here we jump to this condition. All right. So that is the BCD representation, BCD addition. Okay. Now let us look at the decimal adder circuit. So we have the 4-bit binary adder, which is the same. So with the two numbers that you're going to add are called as addend and augend. So you will be adding the two numbers, that is A's and B's, A0, A1, A2, A3, B0, B1, B2, B3. So you will be adding the same 4-bit number. This is a simple full adder circuit. Next, you have a carry in and then carry out. All right. So carry out. So the overall carry, as you know, it will be, so we are going to write the expression for the, so this is we're going to call the K bit. So when this K bit will be high. All right. So this is the final result. That is S1, S2, S3. So this has to now show in terms of whatever the truth table we have shown in the previous diagram. So therefore, the expression for C, the overall carry, is what? K odd with Z8, Z4 odd with Z8, Z2. So this is the expression for the C. And as I said, C, whenever C is high, you have to add 6 to the result. 6 to the result, so that you jump from the decimal 10 condition. Suppose if you are going from 9 to 10, then we have to directly jump from decimal. In this case, let me come back here. Yeah, we are jumping from here to here condition. That means from 9 we have to jump to 16 condition. So that means in between how many steps we are skipping? 6 steps. So for that reason, we have to add this 6 here. All right. So you see that this carry bit is 1. So 1, 1 is coming here, and these two bits are 0. So what actual combination we are getting here is 0, 1, 1, 0, which is equivalent of 6, the binary equivalent of 6. So therefore, to the sum, to the result, we are adding the 6 to jump and get the final result. All right. So therefore, this will perform the binary addition. So as you know, in the binary addition, we are going to get the number which will be in the hexadecimal. That means in this form, So this is the hexadecimal number. If you write this, this will be in terms of hexadecimal. This will be A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So that is the hexadecimal, binary and hexadecimal. Okay. So here, this will perform this first binary adder will perform the binary operation, and this particular adder will convert it into the BCD. So this will be the decimal adder, where you are doing the decimal addition by taking the binary coded numbers. Binary coded decimal numbers. All right. So this is the BCD number. Now, if I want, this is for only one digit. That means A0 of 4 bits and B0 of 4 bits. Only one digit I am adding. Now, if I want to add more than one digit, then I have to go for parallel decimal adder. So this is for one digit addition. one BCD digit and another BCD digit. Now, if I want to add two BCD digits, that means 33 plus 45, if I want to add, then one more set like this, I have to be using it. Now, this setup here is only to add 4 plus 5 or 9 plus 3 or something like that. That means a single BCD digit with another single BCD digit. So this setup is for a single digit BCD addition. If I want more than one digit, then multiple of this circuits I have to use it. So I hope the decimal adder is clear. So in this setup, we have seen the binary subtractor and we have seen the decimal adder. So in the next session, we will look at the binary multiplier. Okay, thank you. We'll meet in the next session.